Hey ho, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me, everybody can hear me. Maybe someone can answer if you can hear me at least. Okay. 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 Okay, perfect. I didn't check it. Okay, cool people. So, um, yeah, let's try. I think this is my best view. You can still hear me, so it's yeah, I think so you can see me somehow. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, Paul is saying let's wait a minute, so we wait a second. Microphone. I don't know. So, like I said, what I'm practicing right now is 37 over 23 over 13. That's what I want to show. So yeah, give me a try. Maybe it doesn't work at the very first beginning. And then I show all the steps I did before to come to this point. So first I try to do here you can see somehow my foot looks funny. I do it my quarter notes and also with my head. Then I go on with my left hand to apply the 23, yeah, yes. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 23, right? And stupid comments, people. So okay, again this, then I'm gonna sing the 37 over while I clap this with my hand and have this in my foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This was very close to 37. So now I try to clap them with my right hand over this 23 here. 1, 2, maybe I take one without and then I add the clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess very close or even tight, I don't know. So, like you can imagine, there's a lot of stuff happening. So there's a lot to do before, and now I try to show what kind of stuff I did before. So what's happening? So 3 things at the same time. So it is also a bit independent stuff you have to learn. Then 3 prime numbers, 3 odd numbers. So first we start how to make any polyrhythm over 13. So if I do any odd number over another odd number, or even first even number over an odd number, a higher odd number, I mostly do, I think, 4 beats over the odd number, the pulse. So I think 4 beats over the 13. Yeah. Maybe we break it down to an easier example. So if I think it in 4 over 5, in the end the same thing, like 4 over 13. It's always the same thing, so you have to, I'm gonna tell you, most probably everybody knows, but it's good to know, and maybe it's better to never forget. So if you have x over y, so 4 over 5, it always means the first number is the subdivision and the second number is the grouping. So I don't know if you have to think about this all the time, but it's better to know this and just don't waste time to think about this. So it's quite easy to keep in mind, I guess. So what I told you, so we have this 4 over 5 means 16 notes in, someone is writing me. Felix, are you talking to me? Is Felix Henkelhausen online? He's writing me SMS. Why? You should listen to what I'm saying. So, so okay, back to the 60 notes and grouped in 5, right? So it's an easy thing. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I group it in 5. This is quite known, everybody knows, but still it's the basic for everything else. So in the end, I just keep the accents, or it depends if you think it more Western or more kinetic. For the kinetic people, musicians, as far as I know, it's not an accent, it's like a new pulse. It's not just an accent, but mostly Western we think in accents. So however you want to call it, even it makes a real difference to feel. I showed a lot in my previous rhythm hangs, but yeah. Anyway, first we need to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, right. So nothing new. But maybe now I'm gonna apply even number, but multiplicated with 4. So this means I put another number in my new 4, right? So I double it, for example. First step. So I still keep the 5 and the 8. First I'm gonna sing it. So 4 right hand, 5 left hand. Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second part, right? 3. And then I do double it up. Ding and dake, 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 dake. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and dum 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 ding ding dum 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 dum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, right. So 8/5 in the end. I don't know. That's the way how I do it. Haha. And so, yeah, like you see, you can do this with every number now. So if you want to put 3 in this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, taki, 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 so you have 12/5, for example. Yeah. For this, for sure, you need to really feel the 4/5 like a really own thing. So it's not that I have to think about where to put my 16 notes in the 5. It really has to be internalized, yeah. But still, it feels quite smooth. It's not that abstract. Maybe it sounds so. Okay, so now we have this, right? 12/5 or something over, or even number over 5. Because I think 4 over this 5. So, and now we need, first I can show how to do an even number over 13. It's the same thing. So I need to know every 13th, 16th note I need an accent, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, boom. Hard to count until 13 in English for me. So, haha, hey ho, people. Some people are coming, hey ho. So, yeah, that's what I do. So now we have 4/13, right? So everything sort like I told you in 16 notes. So now I gonna apply 6 over this, my new 4. This means 4 times 6 is 24 over my 13, right? Don't know if I can clap it right now. Let's see. Otherwise, I just sing it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, again, this wasn't tight. So this was 24/13, right? So this is the same procedure, so the same, it's nothing different. Again, I put it down to a more simple thing that you see everybody can do it through 2/3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding. body is in 3, right? My right hand is in 2, so now I can put whatever number I want. Yeah, so this was 10 and 14, for example, over 3. It's the same thing always, yeah. So yeah, so what have we done now? We had 24/13, and so now we go back and try to do how to make other prime numbers, higher numbers, 11, 13, whatever. How do I do this over another odd number? So we start with maybe 11/5. So we had 12/5, right? Again this 4/5, and then I put 3 in the new 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 12. So how can I make 11? I could do for sure, like I told at the beginning, I can do also the subdivision 11 and group it in 5, right? So, but at one point it depends on the tempo. It doesn't make sense anymore to have 11 tuplets, yeah? Which can happen. It's fun, but it would be hard to count and think in this like yeah, this it's hard to think in this thing. So what I do to apply the 11, I have my 4 in this 5. So, and this, if I come from 12, it needs to be a bit slower, right? So I need to put all my accents a little bit later. That's how I do it. So I put them a little bit later, and I don't know, I tried it a lot over 4, over 3, whatever, and now it's not that complicated anymore, but that's how I do. So I'm quite aware that I have to put my accents a bit farther to the, I see it from left to right. That's how I think and see it internalized somehow in my mind. So I put it a bit more right, which means it's not again ding, ticking, it's getting out of the grid, ding, ticking, dong, ding, dong, dong. And what I have to do now is there's one missing. This means on my first 3 accents I put 3, and on the last 4th just 2, right? And if I put it a bit right, then it becomes even. So if I come dakite, 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 dakite. So it feels, maybe it goes a bit more in direction of the triplet, but I don't think it like this. I just put the accents a bit to the right, and then it's possible. Now I clap my 4 like more to the right a bit later, so that it makes sense to have so that it fits, that you have 2 in the end. So dakite, 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 dakite. And I'm quite aware where my new accents, the 3, 3, 3, 2 are. For example, the last 2 are slightly before the 5, if I count still in 5. And it's quite easy, because if you would have 10, it would be just 8 notes, right? So if it has to be 11, the last two 11 over the have to be a bit faster than 8 notes. So it has to be a bit after the, sorry, mixing up everything. So it has to be a bit after the old 5, if I count in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bit before the 2, man, fucking completely going crazy with this. So sorry. So the 2 have to be a bit faster than the 8 note, all the 11 beats. So I think you know what's to do. But I still think in my 4/5, right? Somehow, just I put it slightly to the bit behind the original accents. Ding, to ding, original. Ducky, 12. Ducky, now ducky, yeah, right. So I try light. Hello, yeah, I'm back again. So so this was like 11, right? So and then it's interesting also to put 13. I learned a lot with 11 and 13, because if you have 13, you have to what happens if you come from 12? This means you have to, at the first 4 you're thinking of in, you have to put 4, and the other 3 you have 3. So, and with 11 it's the other way around. It's like 3 3 3 2. In the end it has to be 2 in the 4th clap. So this rule also is for every number. It's always the same. So if I have to think with 29, for example, then I'm thinking like yeah, what I do. It's the next thing would be 28, which is 7 7 7 7, right? So I need to have one more at the beginning, so I have 8 7 7 7. If for example, if I do this over whatever 5 also, this is 29/5, for example. It's the same thing. So if I have yeah, I think it makes it clear, I hope, somehow. Otherwise you have to check it out or come to my next thing. Maybe it's gonna be yeah, in real life at one point, hopefully. So yes, so and now where have we been? We put in the 11, so we need to put like we already had 24/13, now we have to put the 23, and I do it in the same thing, in the same way like I just showed the 11/5. So again we go back to 4/13, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So now I have to put them slightly. So if we come thinking from 24, I have to put, and we need to do it 23. They are a bit slower, so I also need to put it a bit to the right, because then I have 6 6 6 5 in the end, right? To have it accurate, so we have This is 23 over 13. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. It's the way how I do it. You can also do it in a different way, or I don't know how other people do it, but that's my way of thinking. There's a lot of other stuff I also mentioned. You can come from morphing it from another rhythm in 16 notes or whatever, but at one point, to me, this system makes quite sense, because I can imagine quite easily a lot of numbers over other numbers. If it's just two, it becomes more and more easy at one point, but still, it's still something. It's not that I'm not have to work with my brain, but yeah. The other thing an interesting and important thing is, so if you have three polyrhythms at the same time, or three polymeters, then I recognize that it really makes sense to refer the third one to the second. So the second is referred to the first one, and third one I always refer on the second. It's way easier to think. For example, I have 3 over 4, let's say. Yeah, for example, 3 over 4. Yeah, ding, ding. It's quite. It's more difficult for me. Sorry. Ding, 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 ding. Right. And if I hear it as a rhythm in total, like all of you do, right? But ding, 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 ding. It becomes one rhythm, this polyrhythm. So, and now I can try to apply it on in quintuplets, the whole rhythm, so to get 3 rhythms at the same time, right? So then I think the grouping of 3 with this right, and then I need to have a grouping in 4. But to think both in quintuplets seems to be quite hard to me, so I do it. I think the 3 in quintuplets, and then I refer the 4 to the 3, with knowing the sound of this rhythm, and then you can get it quite tight, I would say. Yeah, that's how it goes in the end. So you think the quintuplets in 3, and then you put the new one with thinking it referred to the 3 and not to the quintuplets. Quite important, I think. If you want to do more complicated stuff like this. So, and now, okay, this is one way, and another thing I can try is, okay, we clap like what we had in the end, at the beginning, like this 37 over 23 over 13. So we have the 3 things happening at the same time, in the same time. And so I need, I make a more simple example how you can do it. For example, I don't know, easy thing. We have a 3/4 meter, and I put just 2. So my food is 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I put 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. my other hand, I'm thinking the 5, da, for example, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi. And what I hear now is not the 5 referred to the 3, but I hear it in a da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don. I really hear it to the 2, right? Da, den, da, den, 1, 2, 3, da, den, gi, na, 1, sorry, 2, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don, da, den, gi, na, don, da. So this is 2 over 3 over 5. 5 and 2 over 3, whatever. Yeah. It's the same thing for me, at least, to how I apply it and how I try to do it. So it's, yeah, and maybe I can tell you, if you are a drummer, you already know it's nothing special, and also for a piano player or whatever, but I'm still playing the guitar somehow, and here it is. And yeah, so it's hard to do so much stuff on the guitar, but it really helps me to get more independent thinking. For sure, it also is a lot mechanical dependency, which I need to practice to really clap it. Mostly, I just started it at one point just for fun, I don't know. But it's also good to have one in the foot or in your head, one clapping and one just speaking. At least this is what you can really use in a band context, so that you really can hear all the 3 things going on. For example, I don't know, I'm playing a lot with trios, so for me it makes sense, and my music. So I developed this kind of listening for my band stuff, for sure. It's in the end what I want to do, make music, not just clapping here for you. So, and yeah, it gave me a lot of possibilities to hear totally new to my band members, and to have more capacity, blah blah blah, more power to to listen to my band members if they are playing. So to be really sure to make it as tight as possible, at least in my thing. Yeah, funny sometimes the comments. Thanks. Yeah. Maybe it's time to have a little water. So, where have we been? We put now 3 things at the same time, like I told you. So we already had the 23 over 13. And then I had to, like I told you, I refer the 3rd rhythm to the 2nd one. So I refer the 37 to the 23. So I, for sure, I also can clap it the 37 over the 13, but in the end, it's more important that I can clap it to the 23. So I had to practice this for my own, to really be sure where are the things. And so my 37 comes from, I am thinking it like I told before, and come from 36, which is what is this? yeah, 9, right? 4 times 9. So, and then I have at the beginning, so I need one more, so I put 10, 9, 9, 9. Is this right? Yeah, I guess. Makes 37. So this now I also started to feel it over the 3. How did I do this? Yeah. Okay, the 23 I told you 6, 6, 6, 5, but in the end I was thinking it in 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5. And to this I applied the 10, 9, 9, 9, which is, I'm thinking like 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Yeah, so, and then I checked out what is happening if I started first thinking in 5 over the 3, because I have in both numbers I have 8 groups, right? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, right? So, and then the other I have 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. So, and then I checked out how to put them over each other, and then I recognized that if I do my groupings of 5 over the grouping of 3 in the correct speed of 37 over 23, I recognize that the first 5 over the first 3, they are slightly slower. That means the next 3, I begin the 5 a bit after the second 3. The second 5 comes a bit after the second 3, and so on. I don't know if this is so interesting to you. Maybe you can tell me. Then I'm gonna go on with this. Otherwise, I just show it again, or we can also do other stuff. Depends what are you doing, or you want to know, or I don't know. Maybe I try to show first the 37 over 23. Bullshit. Haha. Need to try it again, sorry. So this is it. So I also, for sure, I took my metronome. I don't know if you know metronomics. It doesn't make sense. Okay, metronomics is the app I use. It looks like this. So, and here I put my 13. The tempo is 110, and I put the 13, 23, and 37, and it sounds like this. So, and for sure I practice it with the metronome also, not just in my mind, but to be really sure that I can listen to every every pulse in the same time, which, you know, it's impossible, but you can switch really fast between all the three pulses or three tempi or whatever, right? This is what I do. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Practice with the metronome. Sometimes nobody ever told you. Yeah. So yeah, this is the thing. So then I for sure gonna show you. Started to do just two things against each other. Then at one point, there's three things. I don't know. I started to do it. I don't know. Maybe 2 weeks before or something. I did similar stuff before. I don't know. I don't remember. I started at one point to do three prime numbers. They were not that high at the beginning. Some, I don't know, some weeks ago, or a month, I don't know. And now I'm ended up with this. Yeah, this comes. I mean, for me, it really makes sense to push my imagination. It's for me the most important thing. So that's what I do all the time with everything I do. I try to push my imagination as far as I can. And yeah, I like all people they had or have or whatever will have a crazy cool imagination. I think it's the most important tool to push stuff further. So I practice this also beside of technical stuff on the guitar or whatever. So yeah, I just try to clap the whole thing to the metronome now. I don't know if the sound and the claps are synchronized. I don't know, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So. Almost. Not that easy, but close. I think the last one, more or less, was it. So yeah, I guess this is how you can do it. At least I do it like this, and I don't know how far I will go with my prime numbers. Usually I'm working until 64, so all numbers from 2 till or 1 till 8 I multiply with 1 till 8. So in this you can apply like I had the 4/5 before, right? Then I can also put 8 in this 4, then I have 35, 32, sorry, in the over 5. For example, so you can have these numbers quite easy at one point. The fun thing for me is to have very close things, for example, to how to clap 49 against 48 or something. This is yeah, that's stuff I want to do with my bands, for example. It's getting hot already, I don't know. It's exhausting, this shit. So I hope everybody somehow understood. I don't know. If not, you can also write me if there's really something unclear how it technically works. Then I try to explain better. Otherwise, we could do other fun stuff. I don't know. No one is commenting, so what does this mean? I don't know. Nothing. Good. Can handle this too. Yeah, so maybe I can show you again a composition or something. Cool. Yeah, fun. Ah, okay, I see. So, yeah, maybe I show you some composition. I already posted them on a Facebook post, all of them in a video, like it's 20 minutes, around 20 minutes, and I have the 10 compositions I made in autumn 2015, so a while ago, and I posted them with sound examples on for every part of the composition, and yeah, you can hear all the 10 compositions with how I did it almost 5 years ago. But I call this stuff, I call it more speculative. So this means it's fun to really that not everything is really totally clear what's happening. So I like this kind of thinking, and I refer to also the speculative realism I'm very into. And for example, Armen Avanesian is one of my favorite philosophers, and this guy, yeah, he does speculative poetry, and is a crazy philosopher about time and yeah, okay, if I should explain this, I don't know, but it's a very interesting thing. So, the Facebook thing, it was on the 24th October of 2019, my birthday. I said, like, let's play it together on my next birthday. So they, on this day I posted all these tracks. There you can find it. So yeah, thanks Max. It's this. So there you can find it, and yeah, it's still my words. So if someone is into playing that stuff, so then we can try to play it for sure by heart, because this is the I don't know, it's the only way it makes sense to me right now to do this stuff. So okay, so yeah, so the idea of this 10 compositions, they are like, I call them new music beats. So they have a lot of ideas, compositional ideas from new music, and in the end it becomes beats because of the rhythmic thing and how I apply it, I guess. So it's thinking about form and different stuff, like to my favorite composers like Morten Feldman, Stockhausen and stuff, they were thinking about in their time. And it also brings another kind of notation I like. Can't handle standard sheets, I don't know. So I developed something else. It's in a special state, so it's not finished yet, but I'm working on it. So yeah, this thing, for example, looks like this. I don't know if it somehow, first part, second part, right? Like I told you, you can find it on my Facebook thing. So the basic thing, what's going on is like we have 4 bars of 5/4 meter, and the groupings are 776, 776, 776, 776. How I group the 16 notes in a 5/4 meter. 776, 20, right? So this gives me new accents. Some accents in the 5, so it becomes what? It becomes this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gong, gang, 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 gang. Yeah, and I also do it again. I think also it really think it in 776 also. So I did it a lot with this kinetic approach, that I really think them, attack it, attack them, attack it, attack it, attack it, attack them, attack it, attack them, attack it, attack it, attack it, attack them, attack them, attack it. Yeah, right. So it's, for me it becomes a new pulse, even it's not straight, it's a little bit odd because of the 6 in the end, right? So but I'm putting a new pulse that's a slightly shaky pulse. Gang, 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 gang. So, and what I do use a lot is, like, it also happened in the 14th century already with chorals and stuff. They also used it already, the ISO melodies, yeah. And also then, I don't know, endless people used it and still use it. So it's composition number 6, sorry. So you can find it also and read it while I'm doing it, or somehow explaining. So this, yeah, what I do now is I put an ISO melody, so I just have 3 chords over this 4 bars with this new pulse, right? So every fourth clap there appears a new chord. So this starts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here at the second 7 in the second bar there comes the new chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here comes the new 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how I don't know, just tried it once a bit to play. Never played this stuff really, so still fresh. So yeah, so we have like 3 bars of 4 new slightly uneven quarters. So the first is 7 7 6 7, the next is 7 6 7 7 6 7 7, and the other 6 7 7 6, right? This makes sense, I guess. So we have this 6 6 7, ding 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 4 times, ding ding ding, and then I start to just count it in 4. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1. Again, the 7 7 6, I counted 4 every hit. Yeah, so I counted in 4. 7 7 6 7, 1 2 3 4, then 7 6 7 7, and then 6 7 7 6. Yeah, again, 1 2 3, and 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1. Yeah, you see, it's a little bit, it's not completely even. So that's the thing. That's the fun part for me with the composition, and I apply a new pulse on the, but still refer to the old pulse. So, and what's happening now is that, for example, at one, I call it cycles. So if it repeats, so at one point, for example, the bass plays two accents in each new quarter, I call it. Yeah. So I have ding, 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 and ding. So I put in every space I put 2. So this makes 2 over 7, 2 over 7, 2 over 6, which is just the standard dotted 8 notes. This is really important to know to make it really tight. Yeah, this is it is so dake, 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 dake. Yeah, this is my new 8 notes and the 3 bars. So 1 2 1 1 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. Yeah, this is what's happening. The chords are changing like this, yeah, or the and the guitar, for example, plays at 1.5 in each. So you have yeah, and this is then there comes another iso melody, so a second iso melody in the guitar. So so I I group the new quintuplets over this new pulse. I group them in 4 notes. So there's a 4-note isomelody going on again. This is, I don't know if I can manage this actually. I can try, but this really makes helps if you have some sort of instrument to do it somehow physical. So, you know, a drummer would also do it to just for a 4 melody thing like tom, tom, snare, tom, or something. I don't know, tom, snare, tom, tom, or whatever. So an isomelody and applying it on any other rhythm like we have here. If I now start to sing Daka Deme for the new 4, I can try. I don't know if it's happening. But first I start with 5 and then I switch to the 4 thing, right? Again, 5 into the 7/7/6, starting in 4 times. I already think it in a 3 times 4/4 meter. 7/7/6/7, 7/6/7/7, 6/7/7/6, right? Almost. Yeah, this is what's happening now. I grouped the new quintuplets in 4, so I have the isomelody repeats for sure 5 times. The 4 da 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 da. The 20 before quintuplets grouped in 4. Now I do 20 hits in 5 times 4. So this is basically one part what is going on, and then you have some intervals, chords and stuff. They are not that interesting. I don't know. It's not that I'm just I'm not just interested in rhythms. I also did some research about melody and harmony, but yeah, sometimes I also like just simple harmony, simple melody, simple structures, and combine it with this. I don't know. That's somehow my favorite thing, but still I checked out some other stuff for sure, harmonically and melodically. So there's one thing you can check out on my Speculative Multiple Dimensions Concept. And there I refer the rhythms, for example, to intervals and stuff. So it's quite years of practicing. I'm in the middle of practicing this stuff. I don't know, since I don't know 5 years at least. I'm doing it, and it takes at least another 5. I don't know. But at one point I'm gonna show also some stuff of this if I feel more comfortable with it. So that's why we have more rhythm stuff going on right now. So then the B part, it's gonna try to show again. Ooh, it's getting close. The B part, this direction. Good. So you can see it. Where are we? It's here. 3 times 4/5 meter, also in 60 notes, and we have 3/4, 3/4, 3. Sorry, 4/3, 4/3, 4. It's also a 3. It's just to mark the bar 2 1, but in the end it's 3 4/3. So we have 1 2 3 4 times 4/3, and then we have 4 times 5, 5, 5, 5, and 3 times 4, 4, 4, 4. That's the groupings of the 16 notes in 3 times 4, 5 meter. This makes us 15, well, here. It's difficult to show this. 15 accents written here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Yeah? So, and the 15 accents give us cool stuff to combine 3 and to do iso-melody stuff, and in the end iso-rhythmic stuff with 3 and 5. So first of all, we put the rhythms. So we have 4 3 4 3 4 3 4 3, then 5 5 5 5, then 4 4 4, right? So I attack it, then attack it, 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 attack. Right? So this gives my new 15 accents, pulse, my new slightly uneven, shaky pulse. Yeah? Ding, 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 dong, ding, 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 dong, 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 ding, 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 dong, ding, dong, ding, 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 bong, 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 bam. Right? So the same thing is happening here. I put, for example, 2 in every accent, or every hit, or every new quarter note I feel. Yeah? And 3 for example. Yeah. So, but the fun thing is, I can, what the bass does in this composition, it puts so a 3-note isomelody and applies it on this rhythm. So this means I have to repeat it 5 times, the 3 notes. Yeah? I just counted now in 3. You have the rhythm really internalized, which is ding again, ding, 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 gong, ding, 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 ding. And now in 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bam. Right? Or you do it in 5. Then I put a 5-note isomelody on it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam. So right, so I think it's makes sense, hopefully. Again, I can show it. So here somewhere I have it written. The bass have 3 tones, ding, 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 or the 5, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then make 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yeah. So also here a lot of stuff is going on, I guess. So, and I try to show you this now on my mobile phone. I hope I can find, at least if someone can't listen to it at the same time, I don't know, then that's wrong. I try to find it, sorry. I think I have it here. Then you can at least listen to some parts of the song. And here we go. This is the A part again. Sorry, maybe we do the B part first. So 2, and then we come back to the A. So again, B part, which means the bass has five notes, and the guitar is playing 2 over each accent. So 2 equidistant rhythms. So this would be this. And now we do 3 in each. Yeah, this is happening now with the guitar, and the bass still have. Sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Again. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Bass has 5 notes. I don't know if you can hear it from here. It's a bit ridiculous to play it like this, but yeah, still something. So you can hear it on my Facebook post, I already told, but still maybe it makes sense to hear it now. So, and then I show you the A part again. Cycle 2, bass plays 2 over the 776, and the guitar is playing 4 over the 776. And it sounds like this. Yeah. So it's quite hard to hear the old parts, but that's the part of the game. So, but if I play it with my bands, then it's always everybody has the old parts. Sometimes you can just put it, I don't know, with a hi-hat or whatever. Everybody is always has to be always able to play also the quarter notes, even if you don't hear it. And if you play like equidistant stuff, like we had like 2 over this in this little space of 7 or something, or 3 or 5 or whatever, then it becomes more hard to play the quarter notes against, for sure. But still, if you have the yeah, accents or whatever you want to call it really in your mind, then it's still possible. But this I think is yeah, a fun way to make music. Yeah, so yeah, that's more or less the composition. It's somehow also easy, but I'm more interested also there. Some things are again they're written here, but for me it's still a speculative composition, which means you can make whatever you want out of it, and it would be interesting to hear different things. It's just how I applied it, and it's just one single possibility to play this thing somehow. Yeah, it's always the same, you could say, but it comes also with the notation, I guess, which makes it different to normal standard notation, the speculative way of using it. Also, I just had my MPC, played the beats on my MPC, then I played the guitar and the bass guitar with octave, but that's it. So it's a simple version of the thing. So it could be everything. Same with my concept. It's also on my web, Facebook site again. If you didn't see it yet, you can just have a look there, and there's a lot of stuff explained, and it's the same thing. It has the same approach. It's not like please do it like this. It's really don't do it like this. Also, it makes sense to do it like this, but also for me it's more important to show options and to show that I created a system which has at least nothing to say. It depends what you are doing it, or if you want to develop it further, or if you want to destroy it or whatever. I don't care. So yeah, it's this way of thinking. So yeah, so just have a look at one point. Maybe some people have time now, and then you can see what I mean. For this, when I'm already talking about this, so what I did is to think a lot of parameters of music, mostly rhythmic, but also other stuff, also dynamics and accents, so articulation and intervals, to make them more systematic. So it's somehow, it's not serial music, but it's definitely somehow coming from there. So if you ever checked out some Stockhausen stuff, other highly conceptual composers and musicians. Yeah, so for example, you one thing is you just take one subdivision, or let's say 5 or whatever, and you group them in, for example, 3. So we already had, so you have 5 against 3, but you're really thinking it in the quintuplets. So again, if I have like Beatdenker, then I have 2 options to think it in Beatdenker and then make an accent every third thing. So sorry, so Beatdenker is my Beatdenker, my way to count just 5. You can also count it in every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. But at one point I started this, I don't know, years ago, and it totally makes sense for me. But if not, then take another way of counting or whatever. So yeah, if I group it in 3, so I have da, din, gi, na, don, da, din, gi, na, don, da, din, gi, na, don, right? These are my accents. Da, din, gi, na, da, 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 da, din, gi, na, so or the kinetic way to think it is I really take a 3. So I really count the new grouping. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the 5. So I take takite, sorry, takite. I do this. I come from Beatdenker, I go back. So basic work you can do if you really want to go deeper into this subdivision stuff. So and then I applied 21 patterns in my concept there. It's also, for example, a 7 pattern. So it's still no pattern. It's a grouping. So the third, sorry, it's mixing up. So I have the subdivision, I have the grouping, and then I can have a pattern. For example, also da 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 in 3 da 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 da. So in quintuplets, for example. Yeah. Then what I do to again, so the fourth dimension would be it's not the correct number. I don't know which number it is in my concept, but to add a fourth dimension would be to do an isomelody of, for example, 3, and I always take a bass and snare. For me, this is how in the end some beats appear if you apply this. Yeah. So if you have a 3 melody thing with bass and snare, I always have the last one is a snare. So with 3 is boom boom clutch. If I have 5, boom 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 clutch. Yeah, I used my thumb, my index finger for hi-hat, my thumb for bass drum, index finger for hi-hat, and middle finger for snare. That's, I can show you, it comes from my PC thing. So if I play here, boom, so bass, hi-hat, snare, that's how I programmed it, boom, got, boom, 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 yeah. So I don't know, I walked around, I did this all the time. So at one point it made sense to program my MPC like this. It wasn't the other way around. So again, so we have boom boom clutch, we apply to this rhythm da 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 da, which makes boom boom clutch, boom boom clutch, boom 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 clutch, boom boom clutch, boom boom clutch, boom boom clutch, right? Just we do it in quintuplets. With that and then that and that and then boom boom clutch, 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 boom. Yeah. So after 3 times, it's always the same. Like I mentioned at the beginning. 3 times, it's a 3-time isomelody, so you have to do it 3 times. After 3 times of 3-4 meter in quintuplets, you yeah, it resolves. Do you say resolve? I don't know. It starts from the beginning. So yeah, this is a really important thing. So you can apply it on any pattern or rhythm or whatever, but it's for me totally basic stuff. And I did like for years. I was walking around playing this, practicing these patterns, these 21 patterns in all subdivisions from 2 till 8. Now I also start other subdivisions like 9, 11, 13, and 17 or whatever. At one point you can't, it's hard to say subdivision because at one point it's hard to, it is really slow tempo for 17, for example. If you're 17, Beatdenker and for example, I think it over 4, then you can still do stuff over it, right? Yeah. So these 4 dimensions still are really important. So for example, we have a for example, we take this pattern. It's one out of my system. It was there before I didn't develop it, but one thing I pattern I practice with. So if you do it in 60 notes, for example, and now I apply again 3 boom boom clutch, for example, boom boom clutch, 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 boom boom clutch. So you see, you can have all these variations, and it immediately gives you some fun beat stuff, I would say. Yeah. So okay. Stuff I forgot. I don't know. Maybe again I told you something. At least when it wasn't clear that it doesn't. Okay, again. when I did my post last week or something, I thought we gonna make it here, but it's not happening. So we do it online, and I wrote we do equidistances and nested tuplets. So it already happened, but I'm gonna show you this a bit more detailed in the remaining time. Or you have some questions to the stuff until now, then you can also always comment some questions, and I try to do something, but maybe it's also fun just to listen what's happening, what can happen also. So again, the equidistant thing, this means like you put in, you have I hope it's working right again. Does it work again? I hope. Just continue, otherwise you can listen to it later. Yeah, for okay, to say if I'm talking about irrational rhythms, it's a matter of definition, I would say. I don't know. Then you have to tell me what you think, what is an irrational rhythms, then I can tell you if I'm talking about irrational rhythms. So what we're gonna do again, we do this simple thing with a, let's say 4 over or 3 over 4 maybe, or to have a little bit more fun, 3 over 5, I don't know. Yeah. So again, 3 over 5 means 3 is the subdivision, 5 is the grouping. So we have takite, 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 and group them in 5. Beatdenker, 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 right? And in the end, if we just do the accent, we have boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, 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 bang, boom. Really internalizing this thing. So, and now we are putting other numbers in the new 3 we applied with my right hand here. I'm thinking in a 5/4 meter, but I have this 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And then I put 2, I put 3, then 4, for example. Take, 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 3, take, 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 4, take, damn it, take, damn it, take, damn it, take, not, 5 is the quintuplet, then we do 6, take, triplets, sorry, 5 is triplets, and then 6, So this was the 33 over 5. Yeah. For example. So in the end I had 11 in one hit, so you have 33. This is also the number I basically working until. So for example, I practice all numbers from 1 till 33 over all numbers from 1, it depends on the tempo again, till 15 or 16. That's what I'm doing right now. So if we have and this equidistant thing is really great help to apply a lot of numbers already, and then there exist some other prime numbers until 33. You have to do it like I showed before. So again, so if we have, okay, it's better again. I don't know. There's yeah. Okay, so I hope that there's some delay in the comments, so I hope it's back again. Woo! Hey, thanks for listening also and watching. So for example, so I just practice then the whole numbers from 1 to 33, for example, over whatever, let's say 7, or I don't know. Yeah? So then I have to make clear what rhythms I have to know basic polyrhythms like until 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe 8 over 7, and the next I apply with my equidistance approach, and then odd numbers like 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29, and 31 I have to apply with this other approach I showed at the beginning. So if I can try to do this now over 7, I start with 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 10. Oh fuck, fucked it up. 5 again. Ding, ding, ding. 6, ding, 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 ding. 8, boom, and so on. So that's how I do it. I can, if you want, continue. I just sing it, makes it easier for me. I go on with 9. This is 9 over 7. Again, I have 3 over 7, and then I put 3 inside. Then, right, 10 is also, I think, 5, and double it up. So 11 I already mentioned before. I come from 12 and slow it a bit down. So I still know where my 4 over 7 are to get 12. You can also do it with 3 or 3, but I do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and I do it a bit. I go do it a bit slower, put the accents a bit more delayed, a little bit. So I get 11. This was 21, 22, 6, 5, 6, 5, basically, right? Academic 28, 29, 29. So you have a lot of okay, I think yeah, sure. So for Cal, the irrational things, sure. I know this concept, and yeah, if you have, for example, a 4/4 meter, then you add, I don't know, 4 quintuplets, 1, 2, 3, and 16. You think in 16 notes, and I put 4 quintuplets in the end, or whatever. Sometimes I use this stuff, but mostly I use other stuff, like I told you before. I think I try to save this whole thing. I'm not sure if I can manage it. I hope. You can also see it later. So, and the last thing I'm gonna do is to show you to make more nested tuplets. So what I don't know if I can make it. I tried for a while. So what I'm gonna do is, for example, I do a 5/3 moderate tempo, ding, 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 right? So I continue my 3 on my foot and my head, and here I have the 5 in both hands. What I now do, over the last 3, I'm gonna sing of the 5, the last 3 of the 5, I'm gonna sing again 5. So in the end I clapped the new 5 in the space of the last 3 of the 5/3. So, and what I'm gonna do now is to clap the same thing. Always the last 3 I clap 5, and in the last 3 of the new 5 with my right hand I gonna sing another 5. So we have the 3, then we have the 5/3, and in the last 3 of the 5 we have another 5, and then another 5 in the last 3 of the 5, which means at one point we have 4 10p at the same time. So which makes fun complexistic rhythms, right? I'm gonna show you. Da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, da, din, ge, push it. Din, din, na, don, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da, da, din, ge, na, don, da, din, da, din, da, din, ge, na, don, da. Push it. One time it worked out. I tried again, sorry. Didn't try this for a while. I guess this it is. So I'm clapping two tempi, one with my foot, and the fourth I'm singing. This is stuff I try out because in the end I try to play and compose stuff either with this new pulse I showed before, where I play other standard subdivisions again and group them with isomelodies or whatever, or I do stuff like that, working with 3 nested tuplets or 2 or 1. I'm trying, I'm not doing all the time everything. It's hard stuff still, and so yeah, it gives you the possibility to change the length of a tone really fast. So this is what you can, and I mean, you can do it with over pulse. Whatever, right? But this way of thinking brings you the possibility to play it with the whole band. And from there I begin my improvisations. So we try, yeah. So to have more possibilities rhythmically, and yeah. For example, Brian Fernio was a quite influence for me. Even they play it differently than I try to do. I combine it with this kinetic way of thinking, so it gives you another approach of thinking in this complexistic rhythms. So the whole thing I call the whole complex thing xenorhythms. It's my way to think about foreign stuff, foreigners, and all this. We are now, it's this is the biggest task for our society to welcome foreign things and people. So this is my approach to think about this stuff in music, so, and philosophically. This makes at least sense for me. So I try to welcome new rhythms I don't know yet in my music, and try to not be afraid of them, and somehow to manage them and the same thing, we need to be open with all the stuff is happening to us. First of all, people coming, especially if you're living in Europe right now, you know what I mean. So and it's not the way you should do it, like EU does it now, I would say. And the other thing is also stuff like algorithms. We don't know what's going on with them, what they are doing. So if you listen to, again, Armin Avanesian, he's saying time is not linear anymore. It's a lot of time is coming from the future into the present. And so we don't have the possibility to act in the present like before the algorithm times of algorithms. So like Amazon knows which shoes you're gonna buy tomorrow and stuff like this. Yeah. So and it's also foreign stuff we have to handle with. So it's my approach to handle foreign rhythms or foreign music and apply it on this. And yeah, I hope it makes also sense to you. So it's not just about rhythms, it's also about life. So I don't see any difference in this thing. So yeah, so I think I showed some stuff already. So some people came, some people are already gone. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna more or less end it. You have some questions, then you can or still do it. I'm here and waiting for the delayed comments. And if there are few, I try to answer them as good as I can. And if there are no questions anymore, I try to save this thing and everybody can listen to it or watch it later, or except I watch it and feel stupid while I'm doing it. I cannot delete it. Yeah, but I guess it's okay. So yeah. So again, I don't know who has watched it from the beginning, or if there's still someone watched it online watching it from the beginning. So and to all other people also watching this. So I don't know what's going on with our time, so let's see. Maybe I do another thing next week, or I don't know. Usually I do this in real life, like most of you already know. But I think it's also a nice possibility to get some more people who are maybe interested in this stuff. So I don't know yet how I continue. Let's see. So nevertheless, thanks for watching and listening, and yeah, have fun with all this stuff. Yeah, so yeah, take care. Thanks for watching. Okay, I see connection problems. Okay, that's sad. Okay, but anyway, I hope you can watch it later. Thanks again for watching, and yeah, there's also some music I do, not just clapping and trying to philosophize. You can definitely also check out Zur Schönen Aussicht, Sinularia, and Beatdenker. There's also a lot of other cool music out there, and check out our Subwater Beats collective, and I don't know where I start. There's endless good stuff, so have fun with also listening to good, cool music. So thanks again, and yippee! See you later, people.